All right. Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Lyndosha, and I am so excited about today's topic. I have my Starbucks here, I have my water. I'm just really in a cozy place. Like the candles are lit. I'm cute, I'm comfortable, I'm on my couch, and I just feel really amazing and relaxed for this conversation. Because today I am bridging lawyer Lyndosha with life coach Lyndosha. And I need everybody to put on their big girl and big boy underwear so that we can have this conversation. Before we have the conversation, though, I want to do some housekeeping because if you saw the promo or if you saw the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about when dating and marriage gets tricky. And I just want to kind of set, the expectations and everything, right? Because we're co-creating this conversation together. I want to just make sure that you guys know, number one, I will be discussing some more sensitive topics in this particular episode. So I will be shifting names and identities and all of that so that people are protected when I bring up, certain situations that I've encountered as an attorney around these tricky topics. Also, you have your personal experiences that aren't necessarily coming from my life, but they're coming from observations, whether it was, friends, families, colleagues, just all kind of stuff. Everybody is dealing with this issue, right? In the current climate. So I just want you guys to know that I will be shifting names and concealing identities because this is just a real sensitive topic. And as an attorney, protecting your privacy is super important to me. But I do think that because I'm in the position that I'm in and people call me whenever they need help being guided through some of the toughest and trickiest parts of their lives, I feel like I'm well equipped for this conversation in 2024 because the dating and marriage game in America the environment has become so trashy. I don't know how else to describe what's going on, as a whole with our love lives. So we're going to get into some good stuff today. So get your cup, get your pretty fancy cup. If you're already a part of my community, you know how we do it online. Y'all bring out y'all fancy stuff for me, period. Your fancy cups, your fancy water, your beautiful, you could be as beautiful and flowery or whatever as you want with me. So make sure you go ahead, or if you're just driving in the car and you're like, girl, I got to get through this, that's fine too, sis. Um, but yes, I'm cuddled up on my couch, and I just got done praying and just asking God for the grace to give this message um, in a way that brings like restoration and redemption to our romantic and dating lives. So, how did this topic come up? Okay, how did this topic come up? I was actually in Houston for a business meeting recently, and some of the ladies and I, during lunch, went to this amazing Italian restaurant, right? So we're sitting in the Italian restaurant, and one of the beautiful, lovely business women beside me, and of course, some of these women have just become like almost life sisters for me. It's a community that we have found. Some of us came from the internet. Of course, some people bring their friends. And so, you know how girls are. When you find your tribe bring her person and you like her when it's healthy, right? When it's healthy. Them unhealthy tribes that go the other way. But so we're sitting here, we're having this conversation. We've discussed some of our business goals for the year. Some people have talked about their family goals, whatever else. So one girl, she looks at me and she's like, Lindasha, she's like, I love your platform online and giving praise. And so another girl is like, well, tell me more. She's not as familiar with my work on the life coaching side. And before I could kind of tell her what I do, the other girl comes in and was like, oh, this is Lyndosha. She's this, she has a daughter, she's a lawyer, she's blah, she's like kind of singing my praises. And I kind of just sat back and I was like, well, in a humble way, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And when the girl started talking, she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome." And I said, "Yeah, it's awesome, but I have been kind of struggling with my YouTube page because I really feel like there are things that I want to discuss, but it's too in the dark, and I fear what's going to happen when I reveal like what people actually pay me for in the dark, right?" So the girls are like, "No, go ahead, tell us." And I was like, "Well, I sit in tricky places in relationships, in business. Like people come to me when stuff hits the fan." And I gave them, for example, a number of women will come and like book a 1 hour consult with me because, they caught their fiance in a relationship with another person. They have a child, they have businesses. She's falling apart in a heartbreak and she's just like can't get herself together. I've had friends who have paid for their friends' consults with me because they're like, "Hey, this is my friend. I love her, but I cannot pull her out of this funk with the heartbreak that she's received from this man. Can you help her?" There are legal dynamics, social dynamics, all kinds of stuff, right? So I tell them about different, just tricky things that I've seen. Stuff like the available wife is what I call her, whereby she's in a marriage that's either sexless or loveless or whatever, and she doesn't have the money to like leave the marriage. She hasn't built out her business, the business side of her life, or whatever else, right? And so these women kind of come to me in these crazy situations, almost like how people like how Nicodemus did Jesus. Like he just came in the dark. He was one of Jesus' dark followers. And so she asked me, she was like, "Oh my God, Lyndosha, I'm dating right now and I'm so scared," is what she says. She was like, "I'm dating and I'm so scared. Like, I really want to be a stay at home wife and I want to be a stay at home mom. But I have a friend who's in a situation, and girl, she really would need your services. Like, I have a girl that I know right now would need your services." She was like, she's in this relationship with a guy who was an amazing provider, still is an amazing provider, but the provider gives her now is credit card. She has no cash, no access to cash. It's like they're functionally divorced, but because she doesn't have her money, she can't leave. He's super cold to her, all of this crazy stuff that she's kind of demonizing the guy in sort of a way. And I'm used to the conversation of women demonizing the men when we've gotten on the ugly side of love, right? I'm very used to having to navigate that world. I don't personally I know there's so much more to the story because as a lawyer, I have to kind of go all the way back to the beginning and ask some of the tougher questions. So I get a chance to see how the man moved from this amazing provider that you married, right? Like you married the man now. I know we get this doctor, what is it? Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Put that in the comments, whatever it is. I know we have that energy, but you married the man. So if you married a man who was in this particular man that the girl was talking about, he's an amazing provider. They live in like a penthouse in a huge city in Atlanta, all of this stuff. Not in Atlanta, excuse me, in a city in the South, but not Atlanta. They actually are in Texas, but they're not in Atlanta. But either way, that would have been, I could have said Atlanta, and it don't matter because you could be in any city in the country. And if you are in this femininity world, in this world of being provided for by amazing men, you may have heard this story. So she's like, "Oh my gosh, she needs your services, Lyndosha. Now, where's your card?" I was like, "Cool, have her DM me. I'll send her a link to go ahead and book a consult if she wants to book a consult." So then the girl tells me, she was like, "But Lyndosha, I'm super scared about this." She was like, "What advice would you have to a woman that wants to be a traditional stay-at-home wife, but has to navigate the 2024 dating climate and marriage climate? Like, I'm afraid of this." She goes on to tell another story. Clearly, she is all in the vicinity of being a provided for wife or fully provided for wife because you got another friend who is she was a fully provided for wife. Unfortunately, the marriage did not last. And the woman had a prenup. The man owned a multi-million-dollar company, had a lot of assets. And after the divorce, basically his lawyers pulled a bunch of tricks and the woman wasn't getting the proper payouts during the aftermath, right? And so I talked to her about, yeah, there's so many factors that come into that. There are issues of solvency, which is a legal term about how viable a person is in terms of paying out and how you structure deals as a result of it. That's getting more into my legal side of things. And if we have to have that discussion, I will make sure to put the link to a 1 hour discussion in my below this conversation, so that you ladies who are looking for independent counsel, if you're not in Georgia and you need an independent attorney to assess your situation, book a 1 hour call for me. You can hire me as your independent counsel through this phase, right? Or we can also do a life coaching package, whichever one you need, but book the legal consult first. So she's telling me about that second issue with another friend of hers that's fully provided, but love has gone left and they're in the trenches, their love failed, and now what do? So that is like the story that brought up this episode that I am so activated by. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but I'm super activated by it because there's so much pain that comes out of tricky dating and marriage situations, both for the man and the woman, right? I am not the life coach that's gonna come to you and like male bash and all that. It's all over the internet. If you guys want that, there are plenty of girls that are doing those podcasts. I mean, you could almost nowadays kind of pinpoint how they look. It's so many of them. Like they all kind of got the same look. And then you got the men who are doing the same thing. I'm over it. It's trashy, but it gets a lot of people's attention. But I'm over here looking for the women who are, girl, we ain't on that. We on, let's have a great relationship. And if we can't have a great relationship, let's navigate the tricky places with a certain level of class, okay, with a certain level of discretion, with a certain level of safety, whereby we're not just out here just all unkept, right? So you my person. If that's you, then put a heart in the comments, okay? Because we're not gonna be out here falling apart just because the relationship falling apart. Or if we are falling apart, we're going to take it into spaces where we can be well loved and well nurtured back to health, so that we can go on and have another great relationship if that's what God is calling us to. Because who got time to let their whole life hang in the balance for one relationship and one person who may not be your person for forever, right? We're not doing it in 2024. Not over here, okay? Not over here. Not if you my person, not if I'm your coach, and not if I'm your lawyer. We're not doing that. So let's get into it, because I want to basically give you my top thoughts just starting out. If you have questions, please send them, because I'm really looking for your situations in 2024. I'll keep you anonymous. If you want to be anonymous, just put stay anonymous in your email, and all of that will be, my email and stuff will be linked below. But I'm really looking for situations that you guys want to talk about. So send your questions and I will build my podcast episodes and my YouTube page around what you really want to know. But here's the overview, right? Let me take a little sip of water. Okay. Lyndosha is your coach that you come to when you need the green flags. I told you guys about this, right? So we're going to start with the green flags in love, right? How do you know when love is healthy? I feel like one of the principles in the law that we're taught in law school is, you know, let me say it this way. One of the gifts I have as an attorney is I have a strong ability to bring chaos to order. It's one of my gifts, right? Some of the lawyers I know are great orators, meaning they can speak you to the heavens. Like they just have a gift with words and verbal affirmation. Some are great strategists, some are great jurists. They look at the rules and they know all the rules. We go to them when we need the rules. Well, my gift as an attorney, I think what makes me a really great attorney is that I bring order to chaos. So I am going to take the chaotic dating and marriage world, because they go together. Write this in your notes. Dating and marriage go together, right? The marriage, a healthy, vibrant, loving, amazing, romantic, flourishing, romantic life in marriage starts with the very first text message conversation, the very first date, the very first butterflies. It starts it. It's the origin. They are not to be disconnected. Our current world disconnects dating from engagements to marriage, right? So we are going to work to heal. Heal is about reconnecting the way God originally intended things or higher power intended things so that your energy is what it needs to be, baby. Okay? We giving the right energy out here. So, um, we're going to talk about the 5 stages of a romance first. What is a healthy romantic courtship and progression look like, right? So we know we got all these tricks. Lord Jesus, there's so many issues with the tricks, but in the law, if you're bringing something back into order, what we don't go out and try to clean up all of the disorder. That's not what we're taught as attorneys. What we're taught is bring order back to the chaos first. So how does this thing operate when it's at its best? When it's giving its best outcomes, when it's giving its finest outcomes, right? How does a woman operate when she's giving her best out, when she's living her best life, her fullest life? This is what I study as your life coach, right? I love this stuff because I want to live an amazing life as a woman. So I done studied all this stuff from the people who do the research, and I just come around and give it to y'all, right? Y'all like my girls. We have a tribe. We come together. We live our best life over here. So how does that look for a man, which is very different? Men operate very differently. They're moved biologically very differently. Their drives are different than a feminine essence woman, right? So biologically we're different, and gender and essence wise we're different. Our focuses are different. Our connections are different. The way our brains are wired are different. And if you don't know that, you already out there in the trenches in the dark. You're probably losing in love right now, okay? You're losing in love, and we don't want that. We want you to be a winner in love. So we're going to go through the 5 stages of romance so you can know what the green flags are and how the process is supposed to work. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the tricky places. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts on what you should do if you find yourself navigating the tricky places. Let me go ahead and warn you. Every human being eventually navigates the tricky places of love. Every last one of us. Every last one of us navigates and I'm gonna outline these tricky places for you, baby. I'm gonna give y'all some tea today. Get your tea ready. Every one of us navigates the tricky places of love. The issue is not many of us are able to bring order to our love lives in a way that allows us to flourish in romance the way that God intended. I'm talking about that Song of Solomon romance. I'm talking about that man comparing you to grapes and apples, and you on his mind all the time, and he loves your energy, and you have that beautiful, sexy confidence that just takes over the room, baby. But you like everybody in love with you. It ain't just one man. It's like people either look at you like, oh my God, yeah, she got all this stuff, and they kind of give you they hate your energy, or they dote you, or maybe sometimes it flip-flop depending on the season. But you're very well loved. You're not a neutral, I'm just here on the side, looking around. No, you in the game of love, and you're that girl who can win in the game of love, right? That's what I want for you, sis. That's the power I want for you. So we're going to talk about the green flags, the stages of romance, and then these tricky places that cause a lot of heartbreak, pain, and hunger. And many of you are blocked and you are limiting love because of your pain. That is what we're going to start healing today. And then we're going to end talking about the ways that you can work with me. And I'll also sprinkle that throughout. So the first thing, the 5 stages of romance that if you are dating for lasting love, amazing love, you need to notice. The stages are officially this. And as the lawyer, I'm going to bring you the heaviest authorities that I can find, which in this case, we're going to let the heaviest authorities be the state or the government, what the government honors in terms of marriage and dating relationship statuses. And then we're going to talk about what we see in the Word of God or religious systems, right? The people who uphold God's authority. As your attorney, I love God. Y'all know I love God. I be having come to Jesus meetings with God about, romance and love and the crazy stuff I see too. So I I'm not here to tell you to follow either. I'm just going to use these two things as an authority because they're like the last step until you talk about like our souls and just what we do individually with our own power in our love lives. So the 5 stages are: you are single, you are dating, and you're either dating for love or survival. When you're dating for survival, baby, you're gonna be all in trick. You automatically in tricky territory if you dating for survival, my love. We'll talk about my thoughts about that in a minute. Number 3 is marriage. Number 4 is engaged, because you can date for love and marriage, or you can date for survival. In my book, how I put these, you are engaged is the 3rd one. You are married is the 4th one. You are separated. The government honors separation. Many states require that you are officially separated for a year before you are granted a divorce. And then the 5th stage is divorce. Is that 5? 1, 2. Somebody go back and count and make sure. Put it in the comments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it might be 6. Okay. Those are the official 5 stages of romance. If you kind of broke it down from the government and God, right? God's word may call engagement betrothment, like in the Bible, that's what it's called. I come from the spiritual house of Christianity. I know some of you who follow me are coming from New Ageism. Some of you are Hindu. Some of you are Buddhist. Some of you don't ascribe, any type of religion to God. You're agnostic. Some of you, I may even be atheist. If you're atheist, you typically don't make yourself known. I don't know why, but hey, you welcome to. But I come from the spiritual house of Christianity. And so from Christianity, it's called betrothment. If you're coming from Islam or another house, Judaism, of course, is an extension of Christianity. Islam has very, very similar with beliefs about Allah, those gods kind of sitting in the Middle East, those 3 representations of God. So let me know if y'all call it something else. But in our modern world, we just call it engagement. Now for the in-between, okay? Because you need to know the 5 stages of real romance. This is like when you operating at the healthiest places, you hitting your marks. You trying to decide with your dating rotation, which guy is hitting the official marks. He giving lasting love, for real, right? So those are the 5 stages. The tricky in-between stages are real. It's not in your head. I don't care if you are officially single, engaged, married, separated, or divorced. Whatever your relationship status is, across that spectrum, you have tricky places. Okay? And here are some of the tricky places that all humans have to navigate. When you're single, you're navigating between personal satisfaction. And y'all know what I mean by that. YouTube will flag certain things. But when you're single and you're desiring marriage, and let's say you're not dating because you're coming out of a heartbreak or you just done had too much foolishness with these people, a lot of people are dealing with, how do you handle personal satisfaction if I'm not dating, or if I don't trust another person with my body, and all of that kind of stuff. Should I, should not? How do you touch yourself? Do you not? Amen. Y'all know where I'm going with that. We talk more in depth in my live events and in my courses, because I never want YouTube to flag me. If you are dating, okay, you got 2. Remember, I told you there are 2 reasons you want to date. You either date for love and marriage. You have to decide which one you at, okay? That's your decision. As your lawyer and life coach, I'm just here to try to help you navigate what outcomes I see based off your choices, but you have to decide what you're ready for. If you're dating for love and marriage, or dating for survival, AKA you out here in these streets, whatever has happened in your childhood or whatever happened in your household, if you're young and you're listening to this and you're trying to figure out how you're going to get your next meal, sometimes you dating for survival. When you're dating for survival, you're going to hit tricky situations. Sometimes you're going to hit, that's where you hit prostitution energy. Sometimes you selling your body for a meal and all this other stuff, right? Tricky places when you're dating for survival. What I tend to like my women to do, if you're in my community and you know you're in a deep place of survival, I am going to always encourage you to go get a job somewhere if you can, rather than dating for survival, because your survival energy puts you in often in desperation or fight and flight. There are times for it when you're younger and you don't have your judgment as refined, and let's say you don't have a great family. I think that a job is a more secure place for you to get resources than sometimes a man, because you're going to hit a lot of men in predator energy and they can read that you are there for survival. Your soul is going to take a lot of hits doing that, and if you've ever had to do that, my heart goes out to you. You're still in a good place because now you're healing. If you are dating for love and marriage, that is where you want to be in your dating life as a single person. You want to be healthy, dating for marriage. As a matter of fact, you want to stay here past dating and marriage. Lyndosha, your life coach and lawyer, I do my best. I mean, I'm human. I done fell off a few times, bless God. But one of the things that I could count the number of times, maybe two and a half, if you want to, where I fell off because as I'm living life and I'm young and I'm figuring this stuff out, right, throughout my history, when I look at it, I probably like fallen about two times and I didn't go too far because I kept a healthy sense of self and self-concept in that stage. And it set me up to be ready to date for love and marriage. It's one of the reasons, you guys know my history. I have a really, really amazing dating history. I had an amazing dating rotation with provider-minded males, all of that. And it's because I kept my self-concept and my self-care. You guys know I'm a proponent of that. A woman has to keep herself way above water in order to be viable in receiving the best outcomes in romance. Otherwise, you get done in. Other tricky phases we're going to go through: being the other woman or having extramarital partners, the baby mama, baby daddy drama with previous romances and babies and stuff that have come out of those situations. Tricky, baby, tricky. The extramarital partners happen if you have a spouse that whose mental and emotional health has gone down, PTSD, the military, PTSD. I mean, COVID, all of us had PTSD coming out of COVID, probably. Like their mental health just went down in the tanks. They became super violent. You have places where women are navigating extramarital partners. I don't judge you. It is what it is. Also in this place, you have same-sex relationships that come up. For many of you who love God, and I teach about a love of God, I know that is a source of really big tension. Does God love me? Does God not love me? You over here in a romance crisis, but then if you decide to move forward in a same-sex relationship, now you done activated a God crisis because your family judging you. All kind of craziness. Dating while separated. How do you date while separated? The amount of discretion that you have to have when you dating and you separated and maybe a divorce isn't final yet is a whole nother level. There are reasons why, and women come to me to navigate that. Book your consult if this is your situation. You dating while separated, but respectfully, you may live in a county in America that does not grant divorces unless you and your husband are 100% agreeing on everything: the kids, the money, the businesses, everything. How you gonna divide assets, everything. And if you guys don't come to the table with a divorce agreement that's 100% aligned, they won't grant you the divorce. That's a reality in certain counties. So navigating those tricky places, those are the tricky places. Now, like I said, I've seen it all, throughout the course of my time, both as a woman who has had to navigate a long-term relationship in marriage, be friends to people navigating long-term relationships and marriages, be the lawyer for people navigating long-term relationships and marriages. It gets wild on this side of life, okay? And all of it, really. You just can fall into all kind of pits. So now what do you do moving the conversation forward? Okay, we done named some stuff. If you got some more, name it. If you need assistance, look at my links below. Let's talk. Let's do this. So where I want to take the conversation, now that we know the stages of romance, We know some of the tricky situations people are put in. Stay-at-home wives who are abused and don't like it and they can't make their own money, all kind of stuff. Y'all, we turn a fairy tale into a nightmare real fast in America. But we gonna pull that thing out of nightmare and we're gonna keep ourselves in the fun, light, amazing stages of love. Okay. So what you want to do with the green flags, right? This where we're going now are the green flags. What are the standards that you want to make sure you have embedded around your soul as a woman as you are approaching the dating scene and the dating climate, right? Because I don't want you guys out here scared and afraid. The moment you show up on your dates with all this fear, all this scariness, you will push away a wonderful man who means you well really fast. Because men are inherently sick, and I don't blame them, are sick of women approaching them romantically as though they are the all evil stepchild or stepmom. They sick of it. Can you imagine going on a date with a woman? Like, this is why they don't care to date y'all. And I'm gonna come a little bit hard right now. Tell me if I need to back up. You know I'm saying this in love. A lot of men don't care to date or even entertain women on that level because the energy is so negative and hard. You have not taken responsibility for healing your own pain yet. Girl, that's not on that man. That's not on these men to heal whatever you went through in your past. Because what I'm gonna tell you about men is men will hit that energy conservation switch real fast when you acting up. They are extremely agile emotionally because they don't like being down in those pits. Most men are actually naturally very energetic and high strung, and they have their providers, so they got to keep going for their kids or whatever else they found worthy in their lives is a pursuit. So he done activated conserved energy switch on you. You ain't getting none of him, baby. Even if he got all the goodness in the world. And what you continue to do is tell men that it's about them because you won't heal. We're not doing it. So the green flags in that you, if you're looking for that, what I want you to do is I actually outlined the standards of the green flags in two of my courses, the Make Love Last Masterclass and the Dating for Marriage and Love course. They are linked below. Those are very affordable courses for those of you who want to take a bit deeper of a dive. I kept the courses under 2 hours so that you could get the highlights. I put my best there. You could take those courses, go date, and like really kind of get your mind into like all men are not bad. All men are not evil. Just because men are not giving you attention, do you want to know what your number one issue probably is if you cannot attract the attention or affection of a man? You lack a lot of feminine energy. We're going to get into that in a minute. The number one green flag I want you to remember as a woman, if you don't take anything else from this, I don't know how long it's going to be, but hopefully it's not more than an hour. If you don't take anything else from this video, the number one green flag to a man that you are dateable is your feminine energy. It is your feminine energy. It is your warmth, not your fire, not all that attitude, baby. That is not, don't nobody want to make love to that. Don't nobody want to be around that. Y'all can't even find friends because your attitude's so bad. Why would a man who has to give you more than your friendships even want to be around you? It is your warmth. It is your kindness. It is your softness. It is your love. It is your affection. It is your sexuality. It is your sensuality. It is your animation, your fun, your this is what I'm doing today. It is the ability you go and put flowers up. You're shopping for your flowers. And I'm not talking about just the external. The green flag is your feminine, it's the energy that pushes you to do the external. What do I mean? There are so many of y'all that look feminine on the outside, but I'm telling you, as a woman who deals with the internals of feminine, meaning I spend a lot of time doing my inner work and like working on my inner self, the part of me you can't see, my emotions, my mindset, et cetera, journaling, all of the stuff that I'm doing that makes me a life coach teaching this material now. I spend a ton of time in that world dealing with the inside, healing the inside, right? You have to take responsibility for that as a woman. And what I see, so many of y'all, you can look at you and tell you feminine on the outside, but you are hard on the inside. You are cold on the inside. Your eyes alone, you ain't even, you have no warmth to you. You have no animation to you. You have no conversation to you. And as men mature and have different experiences with women, they become so keen on reading that, so you have to become what I call self-aware of the areas where you still have a lot of darkness and pain. And if you feel like, girl, I'm not self-aware, go ask people, hey, what energy do I give off? I know for me, like I'm Lyndosha, I done asked and studied, and I got self-awareness, other awareness, social awareness, job awareness. I like to be woke, okay? I'm one of them that's woke in real life. Go ask other people. Hey, what was your first impression of me when you met me? Oh, girl, at first I was intimidated, girl. You come through like you not playing. That's what I hear. Girl, you come through with strong energy. Your energy real strong in the beginning, girl. That's what I hear. Oh my God, Lyndosha, you're such an amazing person. Your personality is great. I love watching you. You're so insightful. That's what I hear. These are my qualities and characteristics that I have to, it's what I come across, but I have to be mindful in different social settings what it is that I'm giving off. I know right now I'm giving you power energy because I am operating in an activation role in your life called life coach. And some of you will move on and I will be your independent counsel and attorney, helping you get your life out them tricky pits. Okay, back to the light, back to enjoying life with the rest of us up here. Cause we over here enjoying life, girl. We not down there in them pits with you. You by yourself, girl. Don't be by yourself. You better get up out that pit. You better book them calls. You better heal. You better do what you got to do to redeem your life. Okay, your own soul, girl. We ain't got time for them pits. Them pits. I don't stay in hell because hell don't have it don't got good energy to me. Hell is hurtful. I don't like hell. Okay, so you like me, we come up out of that crap. We don't stay down there. Girl, we be flying out. If I'm telling that might be why I'm on a flight so much, Tab. Give me a flight. Can I get a flight out of hell? What's the quickest way out this piece? So that's your green flag. Number two, if you find yourself in the tricky places, it kind of goes with it. You go and you live your best life. No apologies. If you're following Lyndosha, you come into my events. They're listed below. I'm also planning a Valentine's Day event. It should be in my next episode. The link to that, it'll be in Atlanta. It'll be a dinner, so it'll be more affordable. The range will come between $99 to $300 for the tickets for the dinner. And it's that Saturday before Thanksgiving, excuse me, Valentine's Day, the 10th. That's when we're planning it, and just be on the lookout for the link. But if you are not connecting with the communities that are living their best life and are teaching a healing message, having fun, my events, we do our teaching, but I'm telling you, we have fun at my events, okay? Period. If you ever been to any of my live events, y'all let me know. Y'all tell them people, like, we have a good time in my events, and I attract amazing women. I attract the most, like, I call them hidden treasures. They so amazing, but I need our treasures to come out. And that might be because I got to do something with my own energy with that. But bless God, we working on it. It's going to happen. The next thing I want to say is number two is when you're in the trick or the heartbreak, pain, hunger phase, I want you to remember that feminine women still win. We invest and double down in our femininity in this space. If you're looking for more information, go to the Soft Life Blueprint course that I created, and also join us for the Soft Life Weekend, the Soft Life Weekend. It'll be in Atlanta, April 12th through the 14th. The second thing we do when we're in the tricky place is we focus on our dollars and our provision. If you know your marriage is falling apart, sis, you need to be about your dollars. The girl who asked me, how does a stay-at-home mom protect herself from her, like if her husband ever leaves, and girl, you got to make sure you have skill sets that allow you to earn money in case you and your man don't make it. Marriages sometimes don't make it, and y'all may still have to co-parent and do other things. And while y'all are figuring that out, girl, you don't need to be out here talking about I have not learned how to have a skill to take into the workplace to earn money. This is a tricky place as well, because if you have a provider husband, what I say, if he married you, because he ain't have to marry you unless y'all had a shotgun wedding, which is another tricky place, aka you tricked that man into getting married. You went and had that baby on that man. You knew that baby wasn't about that man wasn't about that life, and he's a good man and he still married you. That's another tricky place. And you know emotionally y'all relationship ain't hitting like it was supposed to. You are really operating on survival energy and you use that man. It's a lot of women doing that intentionally, and hey, it is what it is. You know, I don't judge you, but when you come with me, we got to tell the truth so we can navigate the foolishness. Because what I've seen with shotgun weddings is when a man thinks you trap him, that man get real ghost on you. That man get real gone on you. If it wasn't love, if it wasn't affection, if it wasn't real, if it wasn't like, if it wasn't that, if it was just fun and you went out here trying to make that man have a family, you're going to be dealing with that family by yourself. And honestly, that is fair, because you shouldn't be trying to trick men to keep you anyway. That's old. He's gonna know your affection is not with him. He's human. He's human. And so if you do love that man and you need to increase your feminine energy, or maybe you trying to like recreate a bond or something, your job is actually going to be 2 to 3 times harder than the woman who naturally just loves a man, naturally finds him appealing, naturally finds what he's doing is amazing, naturally finds, what he's giving is thank you. Like she's super like grateful for him because she actually likes him. That girl is going to catch that man quicker because her energy is clear. She really cares for him. You tricking and your energy is doubled down. It's a hot mess. So you better be ready to put in that 3 times that work to almost convince the man that you didn't trick him so you could get your babies and sit down somewhere because you was tired of working. Men are on the lookout for that, and they are divorcing women left and right because of this. I am a lawyer. I see it every day. Men are divorcing their wives at rates we ain't never seen before because y'all out here tricking. But I love you, but that's what we did. That's what you did. I ain't do that. I ain't got time for it because I see how it falls out. I'm just like, if I'm not saying nothing to a man I don't believe, because they just read energy very well. I ain't got time for that. And that will be the woman that the man ends up respecting and seeing as his wife. So I'm teaching you how to be a wife. Go to Soft Life Blueprint, that course, and the Soft Life Weekend if you want more of this. Money and provision, we talk about that at my events. We're going to get into your healthy money mindset, up leveling your money thermostat, your temperature for money, how much you can receive into your life. If y'all see my prices, coaching with me for like a year is that's one of my max coaching packages. It's $37,000 for the year. 12 months of coaching. We meet, we kind of talk about it on that end because you're investing so much. So I typically wire how we meet around your schedule, but we're only dealing with building a happy life. You need to be about your dollars, sis. Really, you need to be about your dollars no matter what, right? I personally I've always invested in myself and my knowledge around finances so that I can do my best to move financially. Now, you may not make the best decisions if you have a provider husband, like you don't have to work, right? I don't have to work, but I do feel like it's good for a woman to know how to create a skill where she is able to garner resources because of the stuff I'm teaching. Number three, excuse me. You need to start developing an eye for what a healthy man looks like in a romantic situation. Start shifting your mindset. If you're coming out that tricky place, how do healthy men move in romance? And that needs to be your focus, because if you're going back into the dating world, you have to be able to identify that over the men who may be broken or hurt. And it's a lot of that out here, but you still have to be able to identify the man who has the ability to maneuver and switch. And you want to know, we drive so much of that because of our femininity and our feminine energy. When that man tests your femininity, he was like, oh my God, her energy is like the real deal. I don't know a man who doesn't adjust, because that's what they want. They want your warmth, your fun, your lightness, which goes into number 4. Your only focus outside of you taking care of yourself, which is i.e. your femininity, If you are really struggling with your self-care right now, go to the Self-Care Queen course. It's linked below. I literally have built an ecosystem around the stuff that I teach y'all. So you can come to Lyndosha and see how I don't even be holding back. This is what I do. It's 9.5 hours in the Self-Care Queen course. I think it's like $2.99 is the price for it right now. 9.5 hours of like what I do during my bad time, how I nurture myself. Also, the Me Time Challenge, we're doing that right now in January, right? It's a 30-day challenge for those of you who are super busy and you don't have that luxurious like time. That 9.5 hour time is for the girl who really doubling down on loving herself, increasing her self-concept, getting her outfits together, up leveling her fashion, like she really own it. That's the queen. You and your queen energy when you put that in. But for those of you who are transitioning, I have the 30-day Me Time Challenge. Girl, that challenge is $88. We're doing it right now. I think we're on day 19. I'm doing the challenge with you. Come on and join us, and then go back, and your 30 days will start now. Just go back to day 1 or start with us at day 19. That's number 4 and 5. It's fun, fun, fun. I wrote it like this: fun, 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 light, light, light. You need light energy. You need to go to the happiest brunches, the happiest trips. You need to be around people that make you feel good. Only the family members that make you feel good. Only the friends that make you feel the best. You don't got time for all that other stuff right now because you down in the trenches. How you trying to help somebody? You put your gas mask on first. If you fly, you know what I mean. Not your gas mask, your oxygen mask. Don't put on the gas mask, Lord. The oxygen mask. Those are my tips for you. I hope you enjoyed them. I really do. We're going to talk a lot more about this tricky stuff because I just can see y'all doing it. Go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and share this video. Um, and help this to go viral. Like, get us to your friends, whoever you need. Get us to your friends, child. There are all the ways to work with me. I've linked it below. We have you can work with me in group coaching for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. The paid in full options are the links that you have. You can also work with me one-on-one for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and 12 weeks. The paid in full links are below. You can book a 1-hour consult with me as an attorney, and we can map out your issue and go from there. If you decide to hire me as independent counsel because you have legal stuff going on too, um, know that what you pay for the 1-hour consult goes towards your legal balance. If you want to coach with me, either group or one-on-one, but you're like, Lyndosha, I don't have that price yet, you can put down a non-refundable deposit for $500 to hold those prices. Those are my 2024 prices. But you can put down a non-refundable deposit. And what that deposit does is that puts you to the top of my wait list, right? So if you come in at any point to say, I want a group coach now, and you have put down your deposit, you will have priority for my group coaching. Because if I don't have any more slots in that moment, then you kind of get put back if you have not put down your deposit or if you have not paid in full. The women who pay in full get first priority. And then my deposit ladies, $500, you are next. If you don't have either one, keep listening to my free content because I coach you very well through my free content as well. If you want to book me to speak, send me an email of your event, the details, and the budget. Do not email me talking about I want Lyndosha to speak and you ain't got no budget. Okay, you're not ready for certain things in your business. If you have not put a budget for your speakers, go ahead and get your situation together so that you can hire the best people to come speak. If you do have a YouTube channel and you are one of my paying clients, I do speak and show up on your channels though. If you want me to like have a conversation with you in that way. So that was FYI, just so y'all know I ain't like just a money hungry crazy person. That's not what we doing. We healing, but we're also respecting ourselves. And so you have to embody that. All the links are below. Make sure you email me your questions and your stories because I want to answer and navigate your situations help you to navigate what's going on out here in these streets, these dating streets and these marriage streets. And I just wanted to end this particular video just taking a moment, getting back in our cozy place. I'm still cozy. I don't overextend my doing energy in the season of my life. I am mothering and doing a lot of things that I have to keep my emotions at a high level, so that my daughter can actually receive certain benefits, so that my household can receive certain benefits, my life, the people that I love, the people that I'm called to nurture and be a feminine asset in their lives. I don't ever want to overextend myself, to the world. I'm giving to you guys from a very juicy and fruitful place at this point because I'm not, one of my mentors challenged us recently to not share our seed. She challenged us to only share our fruit and sell our fruit if we had it, but you need to be whole for yourself. Then for your husband, if you have one, your lover, your dates, if you're dating for marriage, one of those men are going to be your husband if they get on one knee or whatever, or they're going to be your lover. They're going to be someone who pours into your life. If you select him in your dating rotation, and to me, he just need to be the what. So you have to remain good there. Don't overextend yourself in work. Quit doing all that working and you ain't getting no reward. We're not doing that in my community. We're going to have proper, healthy boundaries. We have our family, the people that we love, our belonging, our environments, our homes. We're up-leveling our homes and we're creating warm, safe, beautiful, beautiful feminine spaces for the people that we love because we are amazing women. We're healing ourselves so that the things we produce can heal. And I just speak that over your life. Thank you. If you made it to the end, put made it to the end. You thugging with Lindasha, and I love y'all for that. All right. Bye bye.